Hi everyone, my name is Bridget and welcome to my channel. So today's message is on where to from here, where to from after the healing. What do we do with that, and what are we supposed to be creating, because we are co-creating the kingdom of heaven together with God. So we need to take responsibility for our part in creating that kingdom. So before I begin, I'd just like to clarify that I do not believe in religion. I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and that Jesus Christ came to show us a way to peace and abundance for all. There was a season in my life when I found myself losing interest in many of the things this world had to offer. The things that once seemed important no longer held the same weight. The endless pursuit of status, approval, possessions, and achievement began to feel empty. I could see how much energy humanity pours into chasing things that never truly satisfy the soul. At first I thought this was spiritual growth, but then something unexpected happened. As my attachment to this world faded, I also began to lose some of my motivation to engage with life itself. I found myself asking God, if I no longer want what this world is selling, what am I supposed to live for? Perhaps some of you have experienced something like this, or something similar. You awaken to deeper truths. You begin to see beyond illusions. You recognize that happiness cannot be found through external achievements alone. Yet, a new question emerges. How do we remain fully alive in this world without becoming attached to it? And I believe Jesus offers us profound wisdom here. In the world, but not owned by it. One of the most misunderstood aspects of spiritual growth is the belief that awakening means withdrawing from life. Many people unconsciously assume that becoming spiritual means becoming detached from everything. But when we look at Jesus, we see something very different. Jesus was not disconnected from life. He attended weddings, he shared meals, he walked among ordinary people. He laughed, taught, healed, and served. He deeply engaged with the world while remaining free from being controlled by it. This is why his life demonstrated a powerful principle. We are not called to escape life. We are called to participate in it from a different level of consciousness. The problem is not the world itself. When we build our identity around possessions, achievements, or the opinions of others, we become slaves to them. But freedom does not require rejecting life. Freedom means being able to enjoy life without needing it to define who we are. In the parable of the talents, Jesus began to take on In the parable of the talents, Jesus began to take on a new meaning for me. Jesus tells of servants who entrusted with resources by their master. Two servants invested what they have been given. One servant buries the gift in the ground. When the master returns, he praises the two who multiplied what he had entrusted to them. For years I saw this parable primarily as a lesson about responsibility. But recently I saw another level. Life itself is a gift. Our abilities are gifts. Our opportunities are gifts. Our relationships are gifts. Even our very breath is a gift. And perhaps one of the greatest tragedies is not that we fail, perhaps it is that we bury the life God has entrusted to us because we have become disconnected from our purpose. I began to realize that spiritual awakening is not an invitation to bury our gifts. It is an invitation to use them more consciously, living fully without clinging. Jesus often spoke about losing your life in order to find it. At first that sounds contradictory, but I believe he was pointing towards a profound transformation. The false self is always trying to possess life. It wants certainty, control, recognition, security. The soul, however, understands something deeper. Life was never meant to be possessed. It was meant to be experienced. The more tightly we cling to life, the more it seems to slip through our fingers. Yet when we surrender our need to control everything, we become available to fully participate in what is unfolding. This is not passivity, it is presence. We stop asking, what can I get from life? And begin asking, how can I fully show up for the life that has been given to me? The kingdom revealed through participation. Jesus taught that the kingdom of God is within you. Many of us spend years exploring this kingdom. We learn to heal, we learn to renew our minds, we learn to face our fears and release old wounds. These are important steps, but eventually another invitation appears. What happens after the inner transformation? What happens when we begin to remember who we are? I believe the answer is that we become participants rather than spectators. The kingdom within is not meant to remain hidden within. It is meant to express itself through our lives, through our work, our creativity, our relationships, and through our service. The fruit of inner transformation is outer expression, not because we are trying to prove something, but because life naturally wants to flow through us. The difference between purpose and pursuit. God showed me something that changed my perspective. Many of us lose motivation because we have confused purpose with pursuit. The world teaches us to pursue success, wealth, recognition, and pursue more. And eventually the soul becomes exhausted. But purpose feels different. Purpose does not pull us forward through fear or lack. Purpose draws us forward through meaning. The soul comes alive when it is aligned with purpose, not because it expects a reward, but because expressing its true nature is rewarding itself. A flower does not bloom to impress anyone. It blooms because blooming is what it was created to do. Perhaps our task is not to chase more from life. Perhaps our task is to become what God created us to be. A new relationship with life. Today, I no longer believe the goal is to become attached to this world, nor do I believe the goal is to withdraw from it. I believe the invitation is something far more beautiful. To love life deeply while holding it lightly. To appreciate every experience without trying to own it. To engage fully without becoming consumed by it. To recognize that every day is a gift. Every conversation is a gift. Every opportunity to grow is a gift. Every breath is a gift. When we see life this way, motivation begins to return naturally. When we see life this way, motivation begins to return naturally. Not because we are chasing something, but because we have finally understood the miracle of being here. But perhaps the question is not, how do I become interested in a world again? Perhaps the deeper question is, how do I allow the life God has given me to flow through me fully? Jesus did not merely teach people how to reach heaven one day. He taught them how to live, how to love, how to serve, how to become fully present to the gift that was already before them. Maybe it is about embracing it with open hands, awake to the kingdom within, free from attachment, and fully alive to the blessing of life itself. So I hope this message has been useful today. Wishing you a magical day. Much love. God bless.